Hey, what's up, guys? Today's topic of discussion is a bit controversial because a lot of people are not on the same page for absolute certainty. In fact, I've had a few people in my comment section who've made some statements about some things that I've said in the comment section, which is cool. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But what is burn-in is something I just want to discuss today because there are a lot of people who are getting to the hobby after coming through my channel. So I just want you guys to know exactly what burn-in is. So burn-in or a run-in is something that you do usually with a new set of any audio equipment, be it IEMs, headphones, speakers, and the concept behind it is I wanted to warm up or exercise its parts. Now this comes from a place of these things are mechanical. There are a lot of things that are moving. It's not just a digital sort of circuit that's doing it's computation. It's a mechanical thing that is moving, especially when it comes to different kinds of drivers. And there are many different kinds of drivers out there, of course, which do start moving eventually. Now, a lot of people are divided when it comes to the effectiveness of this, whether it's true or not at all. There are some people who, of course, lean towards it. Yes, there is an absolute difference with my audio equipment if I do a burn-in, and there are people who say, no, it definitely doesn't do anything. I myself was a skeptic when I, started figuring this stuff out for myself many years ago. But I will suggest that everybody who gets into this be a skeptic. Don't just form your opinion based on somebody else. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to another reviewer or another individual. Try it for yourself. If you get a new set of IEMs, whether they cost 1,000 rupees or 10,000 or 1 lakh or same thing with headphones and speakers, test it out yourself. See if you do a run-in and there is a difference with it. And now, basically, what is a run-in? Or a burn-in, in other words. You take it straight out of the box, give it a listen if you like to, if you want to, which is something that I have done. And I usually keep a few notes as to how that specific product sounds straight out of the box. And I use, specific tracks that I'm used to. After that, I let it run in for about, say, for example, with review units, I let them run in for about 24 hours. If they feel like they need a run in, sometimes they feel a little held back. So I do a run in for about 24 hours. After that 24 hours, I come back to the same track and I check my notes again. And usually there is a little bit of a characteristic change. It's not like, oh, suddenly the bass is, way bigger than it used to be. It might open up ever so slightly. The notes do alter very slightly. With my experience, with some people, that's not the case, of course. Now, I've let these things run in without listening to them over those 24 hours, of course. But when it comes to my personal equipment, if I buy speakers or headphones or something, I do a very slow burn-in over 250 hours. So how do you do that burn-in? Well, a lot of people do like to use certain specific sounds where they run various noises, pink noises, white noises, you name that, different frequency sweeps while all that is going on. So it really exercises the driver. So you can do that for those 24 hours. You can do it for 200 plus hours. I like to do it old school. So I like to play, lighter music initially. I've got a playlist on my DAP. So I play that at very low volumes. I start off at about 5% volume and then I progressively increase it to about maybe 40-50% volume so as to not blowing up the speakers or headphones or IEMs. So it's not going to get too loud, but very gradual increase in volume, and the music also gets a little more intense with heavier bass and more dynamic tracks that exercise the driver. Now that's my method of doing it. Some people do like to do this thing a little differently. When I decided to start doing burn-ins first, I was a skeptic. I was pretty sure it didn't work. It was a whole bunch of snake oil to me. I said, you know what, let's just give it a try. Let me be my own skeptic. I'm not going to go off what other people are saying, which is why I would recommend it, of course. And I have found there to be, like I said, very small differences, of course. Now, there is a part of the community that is dead against it, and there is a part of the community that is absolutely for it. But I have come across a few other folk on YouTube. For example, Paul McGowan, he is the owner of PS Audio. So if you would like to check him out, do check that out. They do make some really cool equipment. And one thing that caught my ear when I was watching one of his videos was they do make a whole bunch of, I'm not talking about the CD transports and all, I'm talking about the amplifiers and all that they make. CD transports really don't need a burn-in. But when it comes to the amplifiers, there are things that need to warm up and ease into themselves over time. He was selling these things, a lot of these amps to a lot of his customers, and a lot of them came back saying, it doesn't sound great, straight out of the box. Have I made a mistake? Should I get another one? This is a defected unit. So he's actually started running these in for about a good 50 or 70 hours before actually boxing them and giving them after somebody's bought them. And those comebacks have reduced quite a lot. A lot of people are not complaining about it. The amp's not sounding as good. So, I mean, that's a very cool study that he's done by himself. So, again, this is something that you need to try yourself, of course. Try it with whatever you can, whatever equipment you do decide to buy. I found that it's not so apparent with a lot of affordable IEMs. So the 1,000 to maybe 3,000 rupee range, a burn-in usually doesn't affect them too much. It's more apparent when you go into the 7,000 price range, 10,000, 20,000, and so on. Those are a little more apparent, over 24 hours, and more so if you do give them more time. And now the next question is, but Paul, why should I do a burn-in if I like how they sound straight out of the box? Won't they just exercise in those 24 hours or 200 hours by themselves while playing music? Yes, they will. That's pretty much what happens. But the whole point of a burn-in is, if you listen to a set of speakers that you don't really like, or headphones or earphones, give it that opportunity to run in and see how you think about it later. There's a whole argument that says, no, over time you've gotten used to it. So that doesn't hold true with headphones and earphones because you're not listening to them. With speakers, yeah, you can have it running in the background through the day and let it run in for those 200 plus hours. But yeah, if you do let it run in, listen to it again, or if you are fine with the sound straight out of the box, listen to it and it'll exercise itself. You might notice some things get warmer sounding, or they might get a little more, a little tighter in the bass, or a little better defined. These are things that can happen. There's no absolute hard rule for it. I'm not one for measurements, but I don't think there are absolute measurements to say that there are differences with burn-in or not. So it's a very delicate topic, and I myself think that everybody should be a skeptic when it comes to the whole burn-in factor with any audio equipment. If you hear something from somebody, just say, I'll put that to the test and get back to you. Be your own skeptic, be your own make your own opinion on the matter. So that's my quick thing on burn-in. And if you guys want to chime in and talk about it in the comment section, go ahead. I'd be happy to chat with you, of course. But be kind. There's no need to be rude to everybody, but try it out yourself, of course. Anyway, that's it from me. See you in the next one.